Wanderers halfback, the captain David Adams. Western Suburbs lock, Neil Pratt. Wanderers lock, Peter Stockwell. Second row for West, number 9, Barry Ryan at 10, Duck White. Second row for Wanderers, 9, Paul Russell and 10, Russell Heritage. Front row for West, 11, Dave Dancy and 14, Mark Swan. Front row for Wanderers, 11, Wayne Leather, 14, Peter Miles. West Trooper, David Gerard, and Wanderers with the Tony Hess. A 17 down for the A-grade grand final reserves, 14 for West, Barry Brimelow, 15 Alan Dunrobin, 16 Mick Martin, 17 Eddie Joyce, 18 Wayne Hickman and 19 Les McElwain. For Wanderers, reserves 14 Dave Wilson, 15 Brian Stevens, 16 Barry Gerard, 17 Wayne Berry.
The all players commence in the A-grade grand final of the 1981 season between Western Suburbs and Wanderers. Play just outside of the 22, it's Wayne Leather taking the ball up as he's caught there by Doug White. Now it goes back to Hess. Under Miles, the big front rower, and this is going to be a good tussle too, as these two teams, there was only 2 points separating them in the major semi-final a fortnight ago, and this is anyone's game at the moment as Jeffrey Barlow takes it up. He's taken by Neil Goff. Of course, Western Suburbs today without their captain and Barry Danzy, ex-Queensland Country lock forward, and they'll certainly miss him. And this fellow with the ball at the moment, Paul Wessel, certainly had a big game for Wanderers last week, and it's definitely going to be on. And that penalty awarded to Wanderers through the agency of the big front rower and Dave Danzy, who put a bit of pressure on Paul Wessel, and this will certainly take the pressure off Wanderers. It'll be Duncan Gambon, the big fullback, to fine touch, and he does too, just short of the halfway mark. Wayne Drinnen to take the tap free. Up he goes, and it's Wayne Leather to take the second up. He's missed by Goff, and eventually he's picked up there by Doug White, who gets through a power of tackling. Now it's played back to Tony Hess. He runs from dummy half, up the blind side. He's caught by the two front rowers, and Swan and Danzy, and the second rower, Doug White. On it goes to David Adams, to Russell Heritage, and going like a steam train he was too, as he's caught by the lock forward in Neil Goff. He plays the ball back now, and it goes to Barlow, the 580 steps come inside. He's eventually caught. He's missed by Tanner, and it's Neil Goff that affects the tackle. 4 metres short of the 22 metre line. Under Paul Wessel running wide, and he's caught by Nathan Tanner, and he'll be put to ground. Last tackle for the Tigers as it's played back down to Tony Hess. On it goes to David Adams, and Adams puts the bomb straight up in the air, and this is pressure against first up as the ball's coming out to Heydrich. He's taken it well though as he's caught by Drinnen. They had a big...
Please stay in those positions that you're being put in now. Don't move out any further.
The ball goes back now to Danzy. He's caught by Drinnen, and Heydrich and Drinnen had a big tussle here a fortnight ago, and I feel sure that we'll see the same sort of match this afternoon. Now it goes to Gerard, to the captain and O'Shea. On to White, the big fella, coming on the burst as he's taken low by Heritage, and Hess also in there to assist. Now it's come back to David Gerard. On to go to Billy O'Shea, to Nathan Tanner, the 5'8", looking for Danny. He steps inside, he comes in the blind side, gets the ball away to Dave Danzy. He pushes off Barlow. The ball goes out to Heydrich. It's gone back. Eventually it's Jeffrey Barlow. Now it's Wayne Leather that will put Wayne Heydrich to ground, just outside his 22 metre line. Now it goes on to Bill O'Shea. He's knocked it on, and the scrum will back down right on the 22. It'll be Bill O'Shea to feed the scrum. And it goes, comes out West way, he gives it to Goff. Goff comes back the other way, he says, my name's Goff and I'm off, as he's caught by Duncan Campbell, the fullback, standing on the blind side. He'll play it back now to Sini. Sini straight up and meets the Wanderers defence, and Miles gives him one for his trouble. The referee not happy, and this will be a penalty to Western Suburbs. It'll be Peter Graham to fine touch for Western Suburbs, and there, deep it goes. It's a good kick too. It takes play just short of the Wanderers' 22 metre line. It'll be Heydrich to take the tap free. Over he goes to take the tap. He goes, taps it straight up to the Wanderers' defence. He's taken there by Hess and Miles, just inside Wanderers' 22. He plays it back now to Gerard. On it goes to Shea. Around comes Gerard, picks up Swan. He's picked up by Heritage and Leather. He'll play the ball back now to Dave Danzy. They're onto their third tackle. Danzy just simply takes it up for the Settlers. He's caught there by Miles. He pushes off Miles. Eventually it's Leather over the top, and it was Heritage coming in there to assist. Well, it goes now to O'Shea, to White running wide. He's taken there by Jeffrey Barlow and put to ground. It was Stockwell rather that affected that tackle. Now it goes to Gerard. He dummies to O'Shea, dummies to White. He goes down the blind side. He's caught by Wessels. Miles goes in. The Western Suburbs on their last tackle. There's some 18 metres out from the line as the ball goes back to Nathan Tanner. He gives it to Ray Seni up from fullback, and he's caught in the shoulder and a head-eye tackle there by the hooker and Tony Hess. This scrum will back down some 15-16 metres short of the Wanderers try line. It'll be David Adams, the Queensland country halfback, to feed the scrum. Play's been going for 4 minutes in the first half. There's no score on the board at the moment. This main A-grade grand final of the 1981 season. In it goes by Adams. It comes out Western Suburbs way. It's picked up by O'Shea. He runs into Goff and he runs into Adams. He puts him to ground. He'll play it back now to Goff. Goff goes himself in dummy half. He's caught by Adams. Missed by Adams. Eventually it's Leather that picks him up. About 3 metres short of the line. He plays it back to Seni, the fullback, onto O'Shea. Give Dave Dancy the big prop forward, and a good low tackle by Heritage. Cuts his legs from underneath him as he plays it back now to Gerard. On it goes to O'Shea. Dummies to Tanner. Picks up Wayne Heydrich from the blind wing. And Heydrich running freely until it's Johnny Adams and Jeffrey Barlow and Mark Hanson will put him to ground as he plays it back down to Gerard. O'Shea runs straight in and Swan that's going straight up, and he's caught by Barlow. 2 metres short of the Wanderers try line. He'll play the ball back now to Doug White in the big second row. On it goes to O'Shea. He's thrown. No, he didn't do. The hole opened up for O'Shea, and O'Shea will go in and score the first try for Western Suburbs.
Try to Western Suburbs for the captain, number 7, Bill O'Shea. West draw first blood in the grand final, 3-0.
Yes, well, that was certainly poor defence by Wanderers. O'Shea threw a dummy, turned around, and it opened up for him. He just simply strolled through and scored the first try. And it's not a very hard kick for Peter Graham either. It's about 15 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights, and it'll be some 18 metres out from the goal line. And a handy lead, as we saw in the last grand final, the previous one, which was won by Western Suburbs by 9-8, defeating Brothers in the reserve grade. Western Suburbs scored some 2 minutes into the game. Well, it's taken West 6 minutes in this game, but it's a handy lead, and of course if Peter Graham can add the extras, it'll certainly give them a big start to this 1981 grand final. Of course, this broadcast being brought to you this afternoon by Commercial Hotel, Western Suburbs Leagues Club, and of course the Sugarland Tavern and Liquor Barn. Big strong breeze blowing this afternoon straight across field, and certainly making it difficult for these kickers, as we saw in the previous game this afternoon. I think there was only one goal, or one penalty goal to conversion rather, kicked all afternoon, and a man with the experience of Wayne Higland. Anyway, it's Graham to attempt to add the extras to this O'Shea try. 34 minutes yes remaining in the first half, and certainly would be advantageous for Western Suburbs for Graham to put this over. Anyway, in he comes. And he's done so, and
conversion attempt successful from number 4, Peter Graham. West 5, Wanderers 0.
That takes Western Suburbs to a 5-0 lead, and certainly a good start for the 1981 grand final. As it's Adams to kick off, and down it goes over the 22. It'll be picked up by Seni. Now it's missed by Seni. It's knocked on by Heydrich, and it's fallen on by Heydrich. Eventually tidies it up, and this scrum will back down just inside the Western Suburbs 22 metre line. There'll be some 20 metres out from the goal line, and it'll be Bill O'Shea, the try scorer, to feed the scrum. It comes straight out. The referee agrees, and he says we'll pack it down again. Of course, the referee for this afternoon, Mr. Clive Dixon. In it goes by O'Shea, out by O'Shea. It's left rolling on the ground. There goes by O'Shea. It's coming out Wanderer's side, and it's Wayne Drennan in from the blind wing, and he runs into the second row there, and Barry Ryan, who's coming very quickly from the side of the ruck. It's Barlow that picks it up and goes himself in the blind. It's Goff around the ankles and Dancy and Swan over the top. He'll play it back now to Tony Hess. On it goes to Peter Miles, straight up to meet the Tigers' defence, and he pushes off Barry Ryan in a good bursting run as he plays the ball back now to Hess. On it goes to Leather. He stops, goes himself straight for the line, and nearly opens up for Leather. as the defence held off him. Eventually it was O'Shea and White that put him to ground. Now it goes back to Hess. Hess going for the line. Last tackle, they got one tackle to go. The Tigers to try and add some points. It goes to David Adams. He's done his steps and he'll go in and score the try for Wanderers. Yes, well, David Adams made that try up here just as simple as Bill O'Shea's try. It was a good try too. He went himself and stepped and just simply cut the Western forwards' defence to shreds and scored the try right beside the post.
The try to Wanderers, put up at 7, David Adams. West 5, Wanderers 3.
Well, they played here a fortnight ago in the major semi-final, and in that on that game I thought O'Shea overshadowed Adams, but I think we're going to see a different story this afternoon.
7, David Adams. West 5, Wanderers 5, and the winning double today is 7 and 7. 7 and 7, the winning doubles.
It'll be Tanner to kick off down over the 22. It goes down towards Stockwell. Stockwell picks it up eventually and heads up towards his own 22 metre line. Goff's got him lined up and it's Heydrich that goes over the top. The game's 9 minutes old and there's 10 points on the board already as Heritage takes it out. Turns it inside to Leather. He goes up and he's taken there and a good tackle by Goff again affecting the tackle. The ball's let loose and the referee says we'll have the knock on. Goes by Adams, it comes out Wanderers' way, the referee not happy, same tunnel, and he says we'll have it in again. Just outside the Wanderers' 22 metre lines, it'll be Adams to feed this scrum, and it goes, it comes out Wanderers' way, he gets it down the blind side to Duncan Campbell, he comes up and he's taken in a good tackle by Sini. He'll play the ball back now to Drennan and it'll go on to Stockwell, the lock forward for the Tigers, he gets away to Heritage. Heritage up and good tackle again by Sini up from full back. He gets up there very quickly, Racine, as he plays it now to Hess. He's caught by Barry Ryan, the second rower for Western Suburbs. They're just over the halfway mark. On it goes to Adams, to Peter Miles, the front rower. Up he goes, he's caught by Nathan Tanner, it was, the 5'8", as it goes along the line now to Stockwell. Stockwell goes up, he steps, he comes past the halfback in O'Shea. Eventually it was Doug White that affected the tackle. It's the last one for the Tigers. On it goes to Adams, a little one over the top. It's bouncing inside the 22. It bounces awkwardly for Heydrich and he eventually tidies it up, and it was a good tackle there put on him by Mark Hansen, and it was David Adams that finished it off. Now it comes back to Sini. He's caught by Miles and Wessels and pushed back inside his own 22. He'll play the ball back now, and it goes to Gerard, to Dave Dancy. Up he comes, he stepped past Leather. He's just about broke the line, but it was a good tackle around the ankles that Adams had saved the Wanderers. As it played back down and it goes to Swan, he goes up, he's pushed off Hess. He's eventually caught by Stockwell, Wessels and Barlow. Midway between the 22 and halfway line as he plays the ball back now. On it goes to Gerard, to O'Shea, the halfback, Tanner. He turns inside to Danny Tanner and he's just about split him wide open, Danny Tanner. But it was a good tackle there. I just can't pick up who it was. I think it was Barlow that affected that tackle. Anyway, it goes in the blind side to Graham. No, it was Mark Hansen that got Tanner. And Graham kicks for touch. It's picked up by the winger and Nofke. Up towards his 22 comes Nofke. He's got Campbell in support. He dummies to Campbell and Matty Nagus takes him high and puts him to ground. He'll play it back now, on to Campbell. Campbell goes up the blind side, pushes off one player, pushes off another one, eventually picks up Mark Hansen. He'll be too quick for Mark Swan. No, Mark Swan grabs him and throws him into touch. Just short of the halfway mark, and this is good football at the moment. Good fast open football. There's 10 points on the board. Western Suburbs 5 and Wanderers 5. 28 minutes remaining in the first half of the 1981 grand final between Western Suburbs and Wanderers. As it's David Adams to feed the scrum. Comes out the same tunnel. The referee agrees. He says we'll have it down again. Of course, Wanderers points coming from the try by the halfback O'Shea and Peter Graham, the centre, out of the extras, and then David Adams converted his own try. So it's 5 points all in the 1981 grand final. It'll be Adams to feed the scrum. In it goes. It comes out his way. He gets it to Nofke. Nofke comes around the open side. Up he goes. He lands right into Ray Sini that's up from fullback, and he plays it back now, and it goes on Hess to Jeffrey Barlow. He steps. It's a bit slippery. He's scored by Doug White and thrown to ground right on halfway. He'll play the ball back now. Back he'll play it to Tony Hess. Hess comes on to Stockwell. He's over halfway. Gets a nice little pass away to Peter Miles. He gets one away to Mark Hansen. This is better football. On to John Adams. John Adams goes straight up as he's caught by Sini, just short of the 22. He'll play it now, back now to Marco Hansen. On it goes to David Adams, and it misses out. Hess picks up Leather. Leather goes up and takes the tackle there of Tanner and Goff. It's Tanner and Ryan, rather. It's the last tackle for the Tigers as it goes on to David Adams. He puts a high bomb. It's a good floating bomb too, and it's Heidrich taking it, and Adams takes him with the assistance there of Peter Stockwell just outside of his own goal line. He'll play the ball back down to Goff. Goff comes straight up. He's caught there. Eventually Miles and Hess put him to ground. He'll play the ball back now to Heidrich. Heidrich elects to run from dummy half, straight into the hands there of Paul Wessel, and he'll put him to ground. Western Suburbs, 4 tackles to go. They're inside their own 22 as it goes on to O'Shea. Turns it inside to Nathan Tanner. He pushes off one player. Can't push off Hess though as he's put to ground. He'll put the ball back now. The referee's called timeout. There's a Western Suburbs player down injured. Just can't seem to pick up who this player is. Yes, it's Ray Sini for Western Suburbs. He's coming off too, Sini. He's a little bit groggy, but he rolls himself in the play quite a bit, Sini, and there's not much of him either. The brown cow from Mondo, they call him. Anyway, it'll be time played on, and it goes from Nathan Tanner to the hooker Gerard, to Swan. He's got a good tackle there, and no doubt it was Russell Heritage. Western Suburbs on their last tackle. Both wingers back and fullback back for Wanderers. The ball's hung around to Doug White. Bit of panic there in the Western Suburbs camp, and it was good work by the Wanderers forwards to get up there so quickly and put the pressure on them. The scramble back down 8 metres out from the Western Suburbs line. It goes in, and it's a Tigers ball. Adams goes himself. You've got Mark Hansen coming around the blind side, tries to push off one player, eventually gets it back to Stockwell. He gets it back to Adams. Adams dummies, goes himself, looking for someone to give it to. Eventually gets it away to Peter Miles. Miles gets a long one away to Duncan Campbell. Campbell gets it out to Drennan on the wing. Drennan comes inside well, and oh, by Jove, he nearly got away with scoring a try there. So he plays it to Campbell. Campbell goes himself for the line, and the referee says, what does he say? He says, no, held up, we'll have a 5-yard scrum. O'Shea to feed the scrum, and it goes. It comes out the same tunnel. It's picked up by Heidrich. The referee says we'll have it down again. 25 minutes to go, and the score 5 points all between the Tigers and the Panthers as it's won by Adams. He steps and goes himself again, Adams. He got the ball away now to Stockwell. Stockwell's picked up there by, looks like Goff. The Western Suburbs locked forward, and it was too as he plays it back to Heritage. On it comes to Hess. And the referee not happy with that either, and this scrum will back down again some 2 or 3 metres out from the Western Suburbs line. And Tony Hess having a word to Ray Sini. Obviously they're not the best of drinking partners. And this scrum will back down 4 metres out from the Western Suburbs line. In it goes by O'Shea. Comes out Tigers' way. The referee not happy as it's the same tunnel. There's no love lost between halfbacks here this afternoon. With Bill O'Shea, the Western Suburbs skipper, and of course David Adams, the Tigers skipper. In it goes by O'Shea. It's come out Wanderers side, and Adams very quickly sweeping on the ball and looking to get it away to the fullback Campbell. But again, the referee's not happy. In it goes, and the referee certainly not happy with Tony Hess on that occasion, and this will certainly relieve the pressure for Western Suburbs. It'll be David Graham to attempt to find touch and take play outside of this 22, this danger area. That's not a bad looking kick either. It'll take play midway between the 22 and the halfway line. And Heidrich takes it. He's caught just before the halfway mark as he gives it down to Gerard, to O'Shea, down to Nathan Tanner, down the blind side. A quick little pass to Doug White. He gets through the tackle of Miles, but he can't beat the tackle of Wessel. The ball's pushed.
Another card we have to remove, please, a white Sigma 218
He'll play back down to
NSF.
Doug White. On it goes to O'Shea. O'Shea gets it to Mark Swan. He's left it behind. It's picked up there by David Adams, and it's Wanderers in possession. He'll play it back now to Stockwell. He gives it to Peter Miles. No Wanderers forwards really wanted the ball then, and Stockwell so determinedly wanted to get rid of it, and had to be Miles that ended up with it as he plays it back now to Leather, and it goes to Stockwell. Stockwell takes it up, dummies to 10, he's taken by Dave Danzy, just short of the halfway mark. 23 minutes remaining in the first half as it goes back now to Wessel. He's caught now, he pushes off Danzy, and eventually it's Goff and White that'll put him to ground. He'll play the ball back now. Back it goes to the hooker and on to David Adams. He dummies and it gets a nice little pass away to Wayne Leather. He tries to turn it inside to Wayne Drennan and couldn't. And that was good work again by David Adams. And the ball goes, it comes out the Tigers' way. He's picked up by Adams. Oh, he gets a dangerous pass away to Barlow. It's Nathan Tanner very quickly on him. And Neil Goff coming into that scrum very fast to tie up Jeffrey Barlow. Goes on to Campbell, on to Mark Hanson. He runs straight up Hanson, takes the tackle of Doug White. Midway between the 22 and the halfway in Panther territory. It comes back to Hess. On it goes to Stockwell. Stockwell goes up and takes the tackle there of... there's been a penalty. It'll be Adams to attempt to add a few more points. He's a fair way out. He's midway between the 22 and a halfway mark, but he's right in front of the posts. Of course, David Adams, a Queensland country halfback this season, had a fine season. His form was a little bit ordinary after the state trial matches, etc., and he come back here and probably a bit of a letdown for him, but he's picked up in the last few weeks and certainly led the Tigers to some good victories. As in he comes, and it's not a bad looking kick either as it drops over the post.
Penalty goal there, so number 7, David Adams, Wanderers 7, West 5.
Actually, it was a good looking kick. He allowed for no errors, he kept it low, and a good decision in this wind, and it was very accurate, and of course he's out of the extras, and Wanderers go to a 7-5 lead. Nathan Tanner to kick off the Panthers, and in he comes. Kicks it down and picked up by Wessel just inside his own 22, and up he comes to meet Goff and White, and they put him to ground with the assistance of Wayne Heydrich, the winger, coming in over the top as he plays it back now to Hess. Up he goes, and he's caught by Gerard and O'Shea. He'll play the ball back now to Leather. And it comes to Adams down the line. Adams elects to kick for the line, and he'll find it too. And it's a good tackle, too, a good kick too by David Adams as he finds touch just inside the 22, just outside Western Suburbs 22 metre line. And the Western Suburbs wingers and fullback will want to be aware of him this afternoon. Sini will have to watch himself. He comes up into play quite a bit, Ray Sini, and Adams will be very quick to spot him out of position. That goes in and comes out the same tunnel as the referee has indicated, and it'll be Billy O'Shea to feed the scrum, and it goes by O'Shea. It comes out the Tigers' way. It's got by Adams, a good pass to Jeffrey Barlow. He gives a quick one to Duncan Campbell. They've got a man over, and Hanson's left the ball behind. And it's tidied up there by Peter Graham, and that was bad luck for the Tigers. And that was, I thought that was an unfair decision, that one. It appeared as if the ball had fallen free, and Jeffrey Barlow fell in it, and the referee didn't agree and has awarded the penalty. He has a closer view than us, but it looked very suspicious from up here. Anyway, it's Peter Graham to find touch. And that he does. It takes play 2 or 3 metres inside Wanderers territory. Wayne Heydrich to take the tap free, puts it down, and up he goes, straight up to the Wanderers defence. He's taken there by Miles. Over the top goes Russell Heritage. He'll play the ball back now to Gerard. On it goes to O'Shea. Gerard comes round, gives it back to Gerard. On it goes to Danzy, who's fallen over. And he'll play it there with Wayne Leather as marker as it goes down the blind side to Swan. And straight up goes Swan. He's met there by Adams and a good tackle by Leather. He'll play the ball back now. They're 2 metres short of the Wanderers 22. Back to Gerard, to O'Shea. Dummies to White, picks up Tanner. He gives a quick little pass to Graham. Quick hands to Sini. They've got an overlap. Sini gets it to Danny Tanner. Danny Tanner heading for the line, and he's taken a good tackle there by Duncan Campbell. 4 metres short. He'll play the ball back now to Heydrich. Heydrich goes himself. He'll be held up for sure over the line. It's the last tackle. They have to feed the ball, but they're not spread enough to feed it. Played back to O'Shea, and he's made a mess of it, and that'll be the last tackle. Well, 19 minutes remaining in the first half, and the score with the Wanderers leading by 7 points to 5. Of course, this broadcast being brought to you by the Commercial Hotel, Western Suburbs Leagues Club, and Sugarland Tavern. Of course, Bill Previty's East End Hotels. It's Goff going for the line, and he could be in, Neil Goff. No, he's just short of the line. That was good defence by Duncan Campbell as he plays the ball back now. Gets it back to Heydrich, and Adams very quickly through. Well, there again, I thought that was a decision that's gone badly against the Tigers because Adams looked to be onside from here. Come up very quickly. Very quick to come up and take that ball, and that decision was certainly a little bit suspect. Western Suburbs have elected not to take the kick for goal, but to take the tap kick. It'll be O'Shea to tap it. Now he's obviously going to kick it back to give himself a little bit of room. And he finds touch. So it gives them a bit of room to move. They'll be 8 or 9 metres out now, Western Suburbs, and it'll be Heydrich to take the tap free. Takes the ball and up he goes, and he's met there by Leather. He's missed by Leather, and eventually it was Barlow. No, Hess put him to ground. On it goes down to Gerard. Gerard running straight across field, pick up Doug White, and he's put to ground 3 metres out from the posts. He'll play the ball back down to Swan. Swan goes himself. They're going one out Western Suburbs at the moment. Heritage gets him. The ball's gone free, and it'll be a penalty. Well, this will be a simple kick for Peter Graham. He's only 15 metres out, and he's in line with the right-hand upright as he faces it. And of course, this will surely level the scores with 17 minutes remaining, and Wanderers with a lead of 7-5. Of course, Wanderers points coming all from Adams with the try, a penalty goal and a conversion. And Western Suburbs 5 points coming to a try by Bill O'Shea, and the extra is added by Peter Graham. And it'll be Graham to try and add this extra 2 points here to bring them level with the Tigers. It's a very windy day. Paul Wessel's off the field at the moment. I don't know whether he's been replaced or not. Yes, he has been replaced. That's bad luck for Paul Wessel, as it's Dave Wilson will be his replacement. I don't know what the injury was there to Wessel, but that'll certainly be a blow for the Tigers. Anyway, it's Graham coming in to attempt to add this thing off his left boot, and he is. He's added the extras.
Penalty goal there from the Beatles, number 4, Peter Graham for West. The score, West 7, Wanderers 7. A replacement for Wanderers, number 14, Dave Wilson, replaced number 9, Paul Wessel.
Well, and that takes the score to West 7 and Wanderers 7. 16 minutes to go in this first half. Adam kicks off. Then it goes to Ryan. He'll bring it up. He's taken by Drennan and Wilson. Straight in as Wilson, the replacement player, wearing number 14. He plays it back to Swan, and it's Wilson again looking for work, and as Heritage also comes into effect that tackle. He'll play it back down to Gerard. And it goes to O'Shea to Doug White. White comes up there. He's met by Stockwell, and over the top goes Wilson and Miles. He'll play the ball back now there, midway between the half and the 22-metre lines. It goes on to O'Shea to Tanner. He's comes back to blindside himself. He gets the ball away to Neil Goff. Heritage lines Goff up and misses him. Straight down the sideline goes Goff as he runs into Wayne Drennan. Inside Tiger territory as it played back now to Heinrich. On it goes to O'Shea to Tanner to Graham. He runs across field, gets a quick pass to Sini, and Sini stops as he's caught there at the defence of Mark Hanson and Jeff Barlow. He'll play the ball back now to David Gerard. Down the blind side it comes to Nathan Tanner. He elects to kick, and it's a shocker too. But it does find touch just inside Wanderers territory. Western Suburbs a little bit disorganised at that stage of the proceeding. No one wanted the ball, no one running onto the ball. Anyway, Nathan Tanner has managed to gain a couple of metres by finding touch and take the pressure off them. However, it'll be David Adams to feed the scrum. Then he goes by Adams and comes out his way. The referee doesn't agree. He says the same tunnel. And it goes by Adams. It comes out West way. He agrees with that one now. And Sini up from fullback. He gives a quick pass to Nathan Tanner. He can't get through Hanson. Yes, he does get through Hanson. Still goes, but he can't beat Wilson and Heritage coming out of the second row. He'll play the ball back now to David Gerard. Heritage gives him a bit of a shove. He'll plays it back now. On it goes to O'Shea, to Dave Danzy. They're not coming onto the ball hard enough, Western Suburbs, as it's Dave Wilson that goes over the top of that Peter Stockwell tackle to put him to ground. Now it goes to O'Shea. O'Shea turns it back inside to White. He's got there by Wilson, Heritage and Barlow and put to ground. 3-4 metres short of the 22-metre lines. It comes back to Gerard, to O'Shea, to Nathan Tanner. A quick one to Graham. Graham puts a little one through, comes off the body of David Adams. Missed by Ryan, has fallen on there by Danny Tanner. And that'll be 6 again as the referee has indicated. Down to Hydrick, he runs it up himself, takes the tackle of Leather. He's missed by Leather, he's missed by Stockwell, he's missed by Adams, he's missed by Campbell, and eventually it's David Adams that gets him again. He'll play it back now to Tanner. On it goes to Billy O'Shea. O'Shea turns it straight up the middle, comes Mark Swan. And he's taken in a good low tackle there, and Adams has stolen the ball, and that will be a penalty. Well, Western Suburbs have elected to take the tap, and it's Dave Dancy coming on very hard. But Swan takes it and goes himself, as he's Caught right on the try line by Wilson and Stockwell. It was as the ball goes to O'Shea. He dummies, turns, goes himself, heading for the line, and it was a good Dave Wilson tackle that pulled him down. So he comes back now to Danzy, and he's heading for the line, and he must be very close, Dave Danzy. 13 minutes to go and 7-all as he plays the ball back now to his front rower and Mark Swan. And down to O'Shea, he turns it back inside to Tanner. They've left it behind and it's knocked on by Wanderers. The scrum will back down about 4 metres from the try line. It'll be David Adams to feed. And it goes by Adams. It comes out juggling around in there. It's coming out Western Suburbs way. He's left it behind and eventually it's Peter Stockwell that falls on it for the Tigers. He'll play it back now to Miles. Up comes Miles. He pushes off Gerard. Eventually Goff gets him. He tries to get the ball away to Hess and can't, and he's taken the ground. It was Goff and Ryan that affected the tackle. Now it goes to Leather up towards the 22. He's caught by Ryan and the stuck wide underneath. He'll play the ball back now. Plays it back to Tony Hess. Hess on to Adams. Adams looking for Barlow. No, he's not. He's looking to kick, and he kicks in between Sini and Heydrich. Eventually it's Heydrich that gets the ball. Drennan up on him very quick and chases him, and he'll put him to ground. No, he doesn't. It's not Drennan. It's Jeffrey Barlow that ends up putting the ground just inside the Tigers' territory as it goes on now to O'Shane and long past the Tanner to Graham. Quick hands out there to Danny Tanner. He's let the ball go. It's tidied up by Nofke and he's put the ground by Matt Nagas. He'll play the ball back now. Back it comes to Wilson. Straight up goes Wilson. He takes the tackle of Danny Tanner. Inside the Panther territory now, and it's the Tigers on the boil as it goes down the blind side to Hess, and he runs himself and he's taken over the top by Doug White, and underneath was Dan Tanner. Back it comes now from Stockwell to Adams. Jeffrey Barlow, the 5'8" to Hanson. Duncan Campbell looking to come in. Hanson bobbing and weaving and just about goes through the whole Panther defence as he plays the ball back now. He'll play it back to Wayne Leather. Leather gets it on to Adams, and Adams goes, stops, goes himself, pushes off one tackle, gets it away to Miles. Miles is up over the 22, looking to get the hands free. He cops it in the face from Neil Goff, and the referee's seen it, and this is awarded a penalty. Well, it wasn't a bad one either from Nearly Goff. Anyway, wanted to have been awarded this penalty. Tried on the 22-metre line, and I feel sure that Adams will take this attempted kick at goal. Western Suburbs 7 points coming from 2 kicks from Peter Graham and a try from Bill O'Shea. And of course, the Tigers points coming from the try by David Adams, a conversion and penalty goal by David Adams. Peter Miles, the front row, down injured for the moment for the Tigers. There's 11 minutes to go in the first half and the score is 7-all at the moment. Nothing much in this grand final as there was much in the previous grand final in reserve grade between Western Suburbs and Brothers. Of course, Western Suburbs running out winners on that occasion by 9 points to 8. And it's Peter Miles back on his feet, and it'll be Adams has elected to kick for goal. He's right on the 22-metre line. It'll be some 15 to 20 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights, and it's not a very easy kick, especially with a strong breeze. Anyway, he comes. Simply stabs it and he's got it again, David Adams.
Penalty goal is there for number 7, David Adams. Wanderers 9, West 7.
If he keeps this up, he'll have to get the day off tomorrow at Sugarland Tavern. David Adams, he's having a good game, and of course he's added all the points for the Tigers with the try, 2 penalty goals and 1 conversion. Anyway, it'll be Nathan Tanner to kick off for Western Suburbs. And he comes and it's a Heritage has made a blotch of it, and I don't think David Adams will be very happy with that as Russell Heritage has knocked it on and certainly put the pressure back on the Tigers of Western Suburbs win this scrum. It'll be Adams to feed. Just outside his own 22-metre line. In it goes. It comes out O'Shea's way. He goes up the blind side. He's caught by Drennan. Adams is over there to pick him up also, and they drive him into the turf with the help there of David Wilson. It was coming out of the second row. Now it goes on to Swan. He's taken by Leather, and it's Tony Hess that drives in over the top to put him to ground. Now it goes to Doug White, the big second row. He goes straight up, and he's taken in a good low tackle there by Russell Heritage, and it was a good tackle too. He's hit him right on the knee. And Doug White will get up, he'll play the ball, but that might be the end of the story for Doug White as it goes on to O'Shea, on to Tanner, a long pass to Danny Tanner, and this could be the danger this afternoon. If these two centre and 5'8" can fire, they'll certainly make it hard for the Tigers. It goes down the blind side to Dave Danzy. He's missed by Duncan Campbell. That's the first time this season I think I've seen Campbell miss a tackle as it comes back now to Matty Nagus. Up they go, on to O'Shea. He's scored, trying to get that ball free, and that'll be the last tackle. And this scrum will back down some 5 metres short of the Tigers' try line. And Doug Watt's still hobbling, but he's getting there to the scrum. And he goes in, it goes by Adams, out the same tunnel. And it goes by Adams, it comes out right through the scrum, and he'll have to put it down again, says Mr. Dixon, the referee for the day's game. And it goes now, and it's come out Western Suburbs way, onto Graham. Oh, he dummies, and Mark Hanson lets him run, and he keeps going, Graham. Eventually Hanson comes in over the top to cover up for his mistake. Comes out now to Sini, onto Nathan Tanner, onto Danny Tanner. Tanner trying to get his arms free and can't. There's a good tackle there by John Adams, puts him to ground. He'll play the ball back now when it goes to Sini, the Western Suburbs fullback. Straight up he goes, he ducks under Chubby Leather's tackle, and eventually it's Adams again in there tackling that puts him to ground. On it goes now to O'Shea. He turns it down the blind side to Nathan Tanner. He dummies, stopping, propping. Eventually he just simply walks up to the defence, and Barlow and Stockwell tackle him. As he takes the ball, it's Neil Goff that dummies. Straight down the blind goes Goff. You can see that try line, there was determination written all over his face as the defence got to him. He'll play the ball back now to Matty Nagus. He's from the left-hand wing, and he's going for the line, Nagus. Well, he's about 40 yards out of position, Nagus, but he's still trying to score the try. This coming back down 5 metres from the Tigers' goal line. It'll be David Adams to feed, and the Scorch Wanderers with a lead of 9 points to 7. In it goes, it's coming out O'Shea's way, the same tunnel. And it goes by Adams, that's a clear scrum, and I saw very nearly botched up there by Bill O'Shea as Adams was quickly to get on him. Anyway, it's played back now, and Heidrich runs himself from dummy half. He's caught by Adams, and Wayne Leather comes in to give him a bit of assistance. He'll play the ball back now to Gerard. On to Swan, straight up Swan goes. He's caught by Heritage. Back it comes now to Gerard. He gives it to O'Shea. O'Shea looks to turn it down the blind side, runs it open wide to White, gives it to Nathan Tanner on the burst, and Tanner pushes off a tackle there of Jeffrey Barlow, and he'll go in and score the second Western Suburbs.
Western Suburbs. To number 6, Nathan Tanner. 10 Wanderers 9.
Well, that was good work from the halfback in O'Shea, who held the ball up, picked up Goff running straight across field back towards the post. Goff straight and gives it to Tanner. He pushed off the tackle with Jeffrey Barlow.
Mrs. Hadley to the members area, please. Mrs. Hadley to the members area.
He pushed off the tackle of Jeffrey Barlow and went in to score the try under the post, and that takes West to a lead of 10 points to 9. And I feel sure the extras will be added by Peter Graham, which will give him a 12-9 lead. There's 6 minutes remaining in the first half of this A-grade grand final for the 1981 season.
From number 4, Peter Graham. West 12, Wanderers 9.
Yes, and Graham is out of the extras, and that takes West to a 12 points to 9 lead. Adams kicks off, down towards the 22 to go. It's picked up by Barry Ryan. Up he comes, he meets Brennan. Brennan gets him right around the ankles, and Wayne Leather comes in over the top. He'll play the ball back now to Heidrich. Heidrich takes it up. He's chased by Leather. He'll go over the top. Heritage is there, and also is Dave Wilson. Plays the ball back down to Gerard to O'Shea. He gets a little dummy away and eventually picks up Doug White, and he's taken by Heritage. And Doug White jams the elbow into the back of Heritage head as he plays the ball now. Plays it back to Gerard, to O'Shea, Tanner. Graham looking to the left boot. He gives a pass to Sini, and that was definitely forward. Very unlucky for Ray Sini because he was gone, but Duncan Campbell was well back, and so was Ross Schnofke. And Adams again is elected to kick for goal. He'll be some 32 metres out and right in front of the post, David Adams. comes. It's a nice low kick again, and he's put it through.
Penalty goal is there from 7th, David Adams. West 12, Wanderers 11.
And that's 4 out of 4 for David Adams, which gives him a personal tally of 11 points. He's got all the Tigers points this afternoon. Of course, Western Suburbs points coming by the tries by O'Shea and Tanner, and 2 conversions and penalty goal by Peter Graham as play picked up midway between the 22 and halfway. It's Heritage plays it back to later on. It goes to Dave Wilson. He runs up. He's taken by Ryan. He'll play the ball 10 metres short of the halfway line. Back it comes down to Tony Hess, the Tigers hooker, onto Adams. Adams a little one to Miles, and straight up goes Miles and bursts through to the fence as he gets up to the halfway line. Eventually it was Doug White and Neil Goff that put him to ground. Now it goes on to Adams. A long pass. This could create an overlap. Gives it to Duncan Campbell coming in. He pushes off Swan and goes straight to the tackle of Heydrich and managed to stay in touch. He'll play the ball back now. Plays it back and on it goes to Hess. Looked to be inside the 5 metres for an attacking player, but eventually it's Goff that puts him to ground. There's 1 tackle remaining for the Tigers as it goes on to Adams. Adams will put the little chip over the top. It's not a bad one either. It's bouncing right for him, and very nearly picked it up, Adams. And it's Billy O'Shea that picked it up, and possibly could have been in an offside position, and Adams is starting to query that, as this scrum will pack down 4 metres in the Western Suburbs 22. That'll take him about 18 metres away from the line. It'll be O'Shea to feed. There's 2 minutes remaining, and the ball's coming up Tigers' way, and the referee not happy as the scrum collapses. Goes by O'Shea, comes out Western Suburbs way, he picks it up, goes to Brian. Dummies and goes himself. He's grabbed by Adams from Stockwell. Throws the ball back now, plays it to Dancy. Straight up goes Dancy. He's missed, and Dancy split the line. He pushed leather off. He's got no one with him as Campbell puts him to ground. He'll play the ball back down to Gerard, and it goes to O'Shea to Tanner. Tanner goes straight up, claps on the pace, and up he goes. Pushes off 1 tackle, can't push off Campbell. There's a tackle of Wayne Leather that he pushed off. He'll play it back now to Gerard. Inside the Tigers territory comes on to Dancy to Neil Goff. He's caught there by Hess and Miles, trying to get those arms free but can't. He'll play the ball back now to Peter Graham. Graham gives it to O'Shea. Around comes Graham. Dummy stops, goes himself. Eventually it's David Adams will put him to ground. 1 tackle remaining, and it'll be Peter Graham that plays it back to David Gerard, to Bill O'Shea, to Nathan Tanner. Tanner straight ahead and claps on the pace. Tries to get the ball away and can't. He had a determined run that time, Nathan Tanner. 1 minute remaining, and West with a 12-11 lead. This broadcast brought to you by the East End Hotel, Commercial Hotel, Western Suburbs Leagues Club, and of course the Sugarland Tavern and Liquor Barn. And Bob Elcon Electronics. It'll be Adams to feed the scrum. Midway between the 22 and halfway. It comes out Western Suburbs way. The referee is happy. It'll be O'Shea to play it back now to Barry Ryan. He plays it to Ryan. Ryan goes himself. Pushes off Adams as he's taken by Leather and Hess. Leather and Heritage rather, as the ball comes down the blind side to O'Shea on to Peter Graham. Graham runs up, turns it inside to Danny Tanner. He pushes off Stockwell, and eventually it's Hess and Leather and Miles that'll put him to ground. Now he plays it back to Swan. Straight up goes Swan. He split to prevent Swan, but it was a good tackle there by Wayne Leather that ends his run for the goal lines. He plays it now to Danny Tanner. He comes around, tries to straighten. Wayne Grinnon's on his tail, and a good tackle from Grinnon too. Western Suburbs on their last tackle. Who did the go any moment as it goes on to Sini. Sini puts a little one over the top, goes into the hands of Ross Nofke, and Nofke falls back over his own goal line. Play will commence under the goal post.
Half-time score of the A-grade grand final. West 12, the Wanderers 11.
And play about to resume in the second half of the A-grade grand final, and there's been 2 replacements. Barry Gerard on for Wanderers, wearing number 16 jersey, has replaced Ross Nofke on the wing, and Mickey Martin's gone in the second row to replace Doug White for Western Suburbs. Well, 12-11 the score, 40 minutes to go.
Half-time. Western Suburbs number 16 McMartin replacing number 10 Doug White. And for Wanderers, 16 Barry Gerard replacing number 9 Paul Wessel. Sorry, 16 Barry Gerard replacing number 2 Ross Nofke.
Well, the kick-off missed down and it goes over the dead ball line, and because it was the attacking team, the player will restart from the 22-metre line with a tap. 40 minutes to go to find out who'll be the grand finalist for the premiership the premiers rather, for the 1981 season. Dave Dancy takes it up. He's met there by Miles and Heritage and Stockwell. He'll play the ball back now. Plays it back to David Gerard rather. On it goes to O'Shea. He turns it back to Neil Goff. He's missed by Hess and straight up he goes Goff. As he's taken by David Adams right around the ankles. It goes on there to O'Shea. To Gerard. Looks to the Swan. Gets it on to Nathan Tanner. A long pass over to Danny Tanner. And he's picked up quickly there by John Adams and a good low tackle. He'll play it back now to fullback Sini. Sini comes up and he's taken by David Wilson. Back it comes down to David Gerard. Down the blind side to Mark Swan. Up he goes and Heritage goes over the top with Leather underneath. He'll play the ball back now to Gerard. On it goes to Nathan Tanner. Tanner puts a slipper to the ball as it goes downfield. And it's a good kick too as it's rolling. It'll eventually end up going out. As Duncan Campbell follows it over the dead ball line and play will resume from the Wanderers 22 metre line with the tap out.
Roy Borden, please come to the members area. Roy Borden, please, to the members area.
Tap taken by Hess, he gets it to Miles. Straight up goes Miles. He's taken low by Goff and over the top goes Bill O'Shea. He'll play the ball back now to Tony Hess, gives it to Dave Wilson. Wilson's left it behind him. It's picked up by Dave Dancy. He pushes all 1, 2, 3 players. And Dave Dancy got a tremendous amount of pace for a big man. Gets tackled there by Hess deep in the Tigers 22. Go now to Goff, and he's very quick, Goff too, as he's taken in a good low tackle there by Johnny Adams and Peter Miles. Now it comes on the back line to O'Shea, to Nathan Tanner, to Peter Graham. He dummies, goes himself, just about cuts the fence, but it was a nice tackle there by Mark Hanson and puts him to ground. Jeff Barlow rather. He'll play the ball back now, and on it goes to Swan. Straight up goes Swan, and underneath goes Dave Wilson. Then comes down to Gerard, stops, goes himself. Now he eventually lets it go at the open side. Turns it back inside to Nathan Tanner. And Nathan Tanner clapping on the pace as he's caught in a good low tackle there by David Wilson again it was. As it goes now to Gerard. Gerard goes himself, steps around his brother. Said thank you kindly Barry. The ball goes along now, eventually picked up by Sini. Sini's let go. He's trying to slip the ball away. He does, and it's eventually picked up by the Tigers. It's tidied up by just going to pick up the player. It was Tony Hess. Now he plays it back to Wayne Leather, and he's taken there by Mick Martin and Neil Goff. He'll play the ball back. There was Mick Martin playing in the successful Western Suburbs Reserve Road Premiership team before this game, and he'll be looking for two this afternoon, Mick Martin. And now it's Wayne Leather to play the ball. Peter Miles rather, and it goes to David Adams. Elects to kick, and this will be a good kick too from David Adams. And it rolls into touch, and an excellent kick will take play midway between the 22 and halfway line. And the Western Suburbs wingers are going to have to stand very deep for David Adams in this half. This scrum will be fed by O'Shea, midway between the 22 and halfway line. 36 minutes to go to find out who the premiers are for the 1981 season. It's Bill O'Shea to feed the scrum. And it goes by O'Shea, and it comes the same tunnel. Referee for this afternoon, Mr. Dixon, not happy with that ball as it goes in now, and it comes out Tigers' way this time. Onto Adams to Barlow, quick hands. He turns it far, funny looking pass, and that'll have to be a scrum. Referee Barlow would have done better to hang on to that ball as it squeezed out of his hands and went in a forward motion and was picked up by Barry Gerard. Yeah, O'Shea to feed the scrum, and in it goes, it comes out West way. Given to Sini, he runs straight into O'Shea, and then he runs straight into the nice tackle there of David Adams, who puts him to ground. He'll play it back now, plays it back to Martin, he's caught by Adams, right on the halfway line. It comes down to Gerard, and it goes to O'Shea, looking for golf, picks up Danzy. Danzy's had a hook, and it's knocked on by Jeffrey Barlow, I think it was, for the Tigers. And it goes by O'Shea, comes out Western Suburbs way. The referee not happy, says the same tunnel, we'll have it again. 35 minutes remaining, and it goes by O'Shea. Coming out same tunnel again. Of course, this broadcast being brought to you this afternoon by Commercial Hotel, East End Hotel, Metropolitan Hotel, Western Suburbs League Club and the Sugarland Tavern. It's won by David Adams. He steps around 1, 2 players, steps That's about Seany. Keeps going for the long David Adams, and he's caught in a good tackle, and I think he might have scored the try. That was a good run from David Adams. He stepped past O'Shea at the scrum base and left Seany standing there gasping for air, and it was only the last minute tackle there by Wayne Heydrich that brought him down, and it must have been only centimetres from the try line. And Adams is a little bit shaken by that tackle because it was a good tackle with the assistance. I can't remember the other player in it, but it was a good tackle. Anyway, he's got the penalty and it's right in front of the post, and this will certainly take Wanderers back into the lead. I feel sure that David Adams would have been happy with the try, but time on's been called. There's 39 minutes to go, and Wanderers will certainly go to a 13-12 lead. And in comes Adams. Yes, and he has kicked it, and that takes the Tigers to a lead of 13 points to 12.
Penalty goal from the lead of number 7, David Adams. Wanderers lead 13 points to West's 12.
Well, it just goes to show how important penalties are. David Adams has kicked 4 penalty goals. Wanderers have only scored 1 try, and yet they still hang on to a lead. And the ball has gone dead over the dead ball line again. Play will commence on the Tigers 22 with a tap. Taken by Hess, he dummies, up he goes. Meets the Panthers defence there, and Mickey Martin. And over the top goes Dave Dancy. He'll play the ball back now, plays it back to David Adams, the captain of the Tigers, turns it back inside to Wayne Labour. Then gets a funny little pass away to Dave Wilson. He gets one back to Peter Miles. He's met by him to still get the ball away, but this time he got it away to Bill O'Shea, and he said thank you very much. He's tackled by David Adams. Now goes on Gerard. Mark Swan coming on for the Panthers, and he's caught a good tackle there by Stockwell. Back it comes down to Gerard, gives it to Danny Tanner, coming on very hard. Tanner pushes off one, and boy, when he comes on hard, don't they know it. And that was a good run from Tanner, and Stockwell slowly getting up to his feet as it goes on now to O'Shea, to Seany, to Datham Tanner. He gets a nice little pass away. It's touched the Tigers player. Eventually it's Ray Seany that comes onto the ball. The Tigers not happy with that decision, but it did appear as if it came off a Wanderers player.
Try to Western Suburbs to number 4, Peter Graham. West 15, Wanderers 14.
Yes, it did appear to come off a Wanderers player, and Peter Graham has forced the ball down, and the referee has awarded the try. That's Peter Graham's
Wanderers are playing their doubles beside the PA.
Oh, sorry, it's his first try, and he's also got 2 conversions and a penalty goal. Yes, I'd like to have a look at that on the replay, but I feel sure that it did come off a Wanderers player, and it appeared to be a fair try from up here. Anyway, it's Peter Graham to attempt to add the extras to his try, and at the moment West with a lead of 15 points to 13. And he comes, and it's coming back too for him.
First attempt successful from number 4, Peter Graham. West 17, Wanderers 13.
Well, Wanderers a converted try away to get this lead back as it's Adams to kick off. Down it goes towards Martin. Bounces in front of Martin. Eventually he picks it up and he goes straight into the tackle there of Wilson and Miles. He'll play the ball back now to Swan. Swan goes up. He's caught by Hesson, Miles and Wilson. He'll play the ball back now. He'll play it back to Mick Martin, the replacement player on in the second half for Western Suburbs. Already won one grand final today as the ball's driven deep there by Nathan Tanner. Down towards Duncan Campbell. He picks it up. Over his 22 he goes. And then he goes up to O'Shea, pushes off O'Shea, pushes off Goff, but he can't push off. It was Benny Nagas coming in very hard over the top with the help of Mickey Martin. He'll play the ball back now. Plays it back to Heritage. On it goes to Leather. Straight up goes Leather. The Western Suburbs defence not moving up at the moment. 2 metres short of the halfway mark. He plays it back to Tony Hess. On it goes to David Adams. Peter Miles. Short pass. Up he goes, looking to get it away. They're inside Panther territory at the moment. There's 30 minutes remaining and Western Suburbs with a lead of 17 points to 13. And it goes to Adams, to Heritage. He looks to get the ball away. Can't. Now he gets it away to Duncan Campbell. He's caught by the big front row and Dave Danzy. And of course it's Mark Swan, the other front row, here to assist. He'll play the ball back now to Barry Gerard. And Western Suburbs up very quick on David Adams. He stops and he's pushed around there by Neil Goff. Throws the ball back now to Heritage. On it goes to Barlow, to Hanson, who makes a good run. Gets a pass away to Tony Hess out in the back line there, and eventually he's put the ground for the last tackle. 29 minutes to go, and West with a handy 17 to 13 lead. Scrum to be fed by Shea, comes out Western Suburbs way, he gets it on to Sini up from fullback. Sini chips it through. He misses the ball and eventually it's picked up by Johnny Adams. Well, I don't know why he did that. And Adams has got it away to Stockwell. Stockwell comes up to meet the defence and he trips, goes straight into the tackle there on Shea with Hydrick in pursuit. Right on the halfway mark. He'll play it back to Wayne Leather. Leather gives it to Wilson down the line side. Wilson just straight up and takes the tackle there of Barry Ryan and Peter Graham. Short of the halfway mark now. He'll play it back to Tony Hess. Going to be a crisscross move here as it goes to Heritage. He runs around, turns it back inside to Miles. Straight up the middle goes Miles. No one backing him up. Now it's Hess backing him up. There's a bit of a gap there as Hess goes up and taking the tackle by the fullback Ray Sandy. He'll play it back now. Back it goes to Heritage to Adams. To Jeffrey Barlow. Barlow waits, goes himself. Come back inside. Come down the blind side. Not looking to get that ball away. And this is something they have to do, the Tigers. To play the ball back now on the last tackle. He'll play it back to Heritage. David Adams. Adams gives a quick one over the top. Straight into the hands of Matty Nagus. Davis has got it. And Adams has got him. No, Gerard's got him. And he'll get tackled right on his 22-metre line. He plays it back now. Plays it back now to Goff. Up comes Goff. And he's taken in a good low tackle there by David Wilson. He'll play the ball back now to Mickey Martin. Back it comes and he's taken by Heritage. Back it comes now to O'Shea. It's picked up by Dave Danzy. Danzy comes up and he's got a good tackle by Jeff Barlow. He'll play the ball back now. Danzy plays it back to Dan Tanner. Up comes Tanner. He meets Leather and over the top goes Barlow. It's the last tackle for Western Suburbs. There's 27 minutes remaining in this game as it goes back to O'Shea. On it comes to Nathan Tanner. He'll elect a kick and it's a good long kick too. And that'll go out on the full. This scrum will back down just short of Western Suburbs 22-metre line. And it goes by O'Shea, comes out Western Suburbs way. He goes up, he's missed and tackled there by Hanson, he's missed by Heritage. Eventually it's Wayne Leather that got out of the scrum to put him to ground. He'll play it back now to Martin. He gives it to Dan Tanner and he's coming nice and hard too, Danny Tanner. Again it's Wayne Leather that's had a good game for the Tigers this afternoon that affects that tackle. Now it goes on to O'Shea to Dave Danzy running hard and he's caught in a good tackle by John Adams with the assistance of Russell Heritage right on the halfway mark. He'll play the ball back, plays it back to Peter Graham, down the blind side to O'Shea, dummies to Nathan Tanner, goes himself, straight upfield, now he gets a pass away to Graham. Graham split the tackle, he run the wrong way, Peter Graham. He had David Gerard with him. All he had to do was draw the fullback and give it Gerard and it would have been a Western Suburbs try, but they're still going Western Suburbs as it's Goff for the ball and Goff will go in. Now he's cut down 1 metre short of the line and a desperate tackle there by John Adams. Plays it back now and on it goes out the other side. They've got men over everywhere and Matty Nagus scores a try.
Try to number 2, Matt Baggett. West 20, Wanderers 14.
Western Suburbs had the Tigers defence in tatters there and the try should have came early. Graham only had it. He didn't have to step, he just had to go straight because he had the hooker and David Gerard backing him up and certainly would have scored the try. Anyway, it was a quick play the ball and away it went along the back line again and we saw Matty Nagus go in unmarked and score Western Suburbs try. That's their fourth try and that takes them to a handy 20 points to 13 lead. With 25 minutes remaining, the Tigers desperately need to come back with another try. 20 points to 13 at the moment. Their 20 points have come from tries by O'Shea, Nathan Tanner, Matty Nagas, Peter Graham, 3 conversions by Graham and a penalty by Graham, and Wanderers points have come all from David Adams. 1 try, 4 penalty goals and 1 conversion. Well, this kick by Graham, he's just outside the 22 and he'll be 25 metres to the right hand side of the uprights. Not a hard kick as he's got the wind on his side and his left boot, and it's hit the uprights. And that's bad luck for Western Suburbs because that 2 points could quite put ahead later on.
Successful scoring by West 20, Wanderers 14.
The Adams to take the kick off. Down it goes, down towards the 22-metre line, taken by Martin. Up he comes. He'll be taken there by Heritage, and it's Dave Wilson also going into effective tackle as he plays the ball back now. Plays it back to Dave Dancy to Mark Swan. He's dropped it. It's fallen on there eventually by Peter Stockwell, and this is Wanderers what Wanderers need to score this try and get back into this game. Played back now to Dave Wilson. He's taken by Dave Dancy. It's the second tackle for the Tigers. It's Adams calling for the ball. As he takes it, he dummies to Heritage. No, he gives it to Heritage. He's taken by Nathan Tanner, and the Western Suburbs defence very strong at the moment as he plays the ball back to Wayne Leather. They got men over here as it's going to be quick hands, and it is too, and on it goes to Johnny Adams. He gets a nice little pass inside to Mark Hanson. He gets one to Wayne Leather, and that's better football from the Tigers. This is the type of football they played last week that got them into this grand finals. It comes back now, and it goes to Johnny Adams, and that other try from Western Suburbs is certainly live in this game up. He gets it back down to Tony Hess. He's caught there by Wayne Hydrick, and it was Wayne Hydrick in from the wing as it goes to Dave Adams. Steps. He's missed by one player, turns it back inside to Russell Heritage. Oh, that's a forward pass. Wayne Leather was a mile in front of Russell Heritage. Well, we saw some brilliant attack from the Tigers then, and of course it all came undone with that pass from Russell Heritage. Must have been a good 2 metres forward to Wayne Leather. And that was the try they desperately need, although there's still 23 minutes remaining in this game. The injured player down at the moment for Western Suburbs is Nathan Tanner. It'll certainly be a loss if he has to come off the field. Peter Stockwell coming off for Wanderers. I think it's Wayne Perry will be his replacement. Peter Graham to try and find touch, and he selected the right way to kick, and it's not a bad looking kick either. Hanson just can't touch it, but the referee indicated he was out of play. It was a good effort by Mark Hanson. It'll be Matt Nagas to take the tap free. Tap it he does, and up he comes too, and up he comes to meet this torrid defence from the Tigers, and Wanderers desperately needing a try. They have to get this ball back as he'll play it back down to Gerard. On it goes to O'Shea. He comes round. O'Shea dummies twice, still going. Eventually gets it away to Mark Swan. Straight up goes Swan. He's missed by Duncan Campbell, and eventually it was Russell Heritage that came into effective tackle. He'll play it back now to David Gerard. On it goes to Dave Danzy, up over the halfway mark. Taken by Tony Hess. He gets a pass inside. It's eventually picked up by the Tigers. It was a bad pass too, and it was David Adams that got it, and it's gone on to Mark Hanson. A quick one to Wayne Leather. He's had a good game this afternoon, Wayne Leather. Steps inside looking for support. There's no one there to support him, so he has to go down on the tackle. He'll play it now to Hanson. On it goes to Peter Miles. Straight up goes Miles. Gets it back in a fashion to Jeffrey Bartley, who's back in the forwards now. But I feel that Mark Hanson at 5'8" and a replacement player on the wing. He'll play the ball back now. Back it comes to, no it doesn't, he plays it forward, Bartley. He's taken in a good tackle there by Goff and Barry Ryan. He'll play it back now to Tony Hess. Hess gets it up to David Adams. He turns it down the blind side to Wayne Leather. A quick pass to Russell Heritage. Heritage going for the ball away. Now he gets it away to Duncan Campbell. And again you see the player in front of the ball. That's the second time it's happened to Russell Heritage. And they can all afford to do these sort of tactics. There's 21 minutes remaining and they definitely need a try. I feel sure that they would be better playing percentage football. Yes, Jeff Barlow's gone into the forward pack, and Mark Hanson's come into the 5'8" position with Wayne Drennan coming on the wing, and it's Wayne Perry going onto the Wayne Drennan coming in from the wing rather, and Wayne Perry going on the wing. It'll be Peter Graham to find touch, and that he should do. His left foot kick, and it's not a bad looking kick either. It's a nice little torpedo that takes play into Wanderers territory. It'll be Matty Nagas to take the tap free. takes a tap and up he goes. Straight across field as he pushes off 2 Wanderers players, 3 Wanderers players. Eventually it's Adams and Leather that combine to put him to ground. He'll play the ball back now to Gerard. He gets it onto O'Shea. O'Shea gives the short one to Dave Dancy and straight up goes Dancy. Underneath goes Heritage and over the top goes Jeff Barlow. He'll play the ball back now to Neil Goff. Midway between the 22 and halfway line as it goes down to O'Shea. To Danny Tanner, coming on hard Tanner. As he gets the ball, it goes back past Hydrick and it'll be Johnny Adams that'll tidy it up for the Tigers. By Joe, Tanner comes onto that ball hard and he breaks out Wanderers defence. As the ball comes back now to Drennan. Straight up goes Drennan. He's caught there by Hydrick and he'll go to ground. Midway between the 22 and halfway line, there's 20 minutes remaining and there's still Wanderers in this game. So it comes back to Wayne Leather and straight up goes Leather and he caught a good tackle there by Barry Ryan and the ball's gone free and eventually it ends up in the hands of... It was Mickey Martin that tidied that. I played back now to Gerard. He's taken by Drennan and Barlow. As the ball comes back now from Martin, on it comes to the halfback O'Shea to Tanner. Out to the Sonos where Singy's up from fullback. Gives a quick little pass to Graham. And a good pass it was from Graham to Danny Tanner. And he's cracked him wide open again, Danny Tanner. He's straight around Duncan Campbell. Danny Tanner's come on hard all afternoon and that was a good pass there from Peter Graham. An excellent pass, as a matter of fact. He let the ball go inches from the ground and put Danny Tanner into a position where he had plenty of room to move and he just simply left it.
Western Suburbs, to number 3, Danny Tanner.
He just simply left the trail of Western Suburbs. He simply left the trail of Wanderers players in his wake and Duncan Campbell was standing there just grasping for air as Tanner went in and scored the try run under the post. And that takes him to, I would say at this stage of the game, an unbeatable lead of 25 points to 13, assuming that Graham kicks this goal. Well, this kick's right in front, so it should be a simple kick for Danny Tanner, an injured player down for Western Suburbs. It's Ray Sini. Cindy will be coming off and he'll be replaced by Aaron Dunn-Robin, who had an excellent game, scoring 2 tries in the reserve grade grand final. And Peter Graham's out of
the 25, Wanderers 15, a replacement about to be made from West. 15, Aaron Dunn-Robin, about to replace 1, Ray Sini.
Sini's off for Western Suburbs and Dunn-Robin is on. Well, the Tigers have got a real battle on their hands now, 19 minutes and they trail by 12 points. There's 3 tries, 2 converted and 1 ordinary try to get back into this game, and I don't think they can from here. It's Barry Ryan, the way Western Suburbs are starting to run onto this ball. Now it goes on to O'Shea. He dummies and straight up the middle he goes as he's caught by Peter Miles. Gets a pass away to Mark Swan. It's gone free and it's tidied up by David Adams. He'll play the ball back now. He'll play it to Wayne Leather. He's midway between the 22 and halfway line. As he plays it back to Leather, he's caught by Swan and just thrown to the ground. Western Suburbs playing as if they wanted this premiership so badly. It isn't funny as it's Miles that comes straight up and he's caught there by Swan and Martin. And they've played well all season, Western Suburbs. They're the minor premiers and they certainly deserve this win. Well, Martin refuses to let go of Peter Miles, and this is a chance for the Tigers to get back into this game. Surely a converted try will certainly help them, and Adams is elected to kick for goal, which isn't as silly as it sounds because it takes him to win 2 converted tries. Now, it was obviously a very experienced player and very cool, and it's a good decision from him to, because if they can kick this and score another try, they're right back in this, and it is over too, and it's a good kick by David Adams. And that's takes.
Number 7, David Adams. West 25. Wanderers 15.
That takes Western Suburbs to lead of 25 to 15, and of course those 15 points coming for Wanderers coming by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalty goals, a conversion and a try by David Adams. So he scored all the Tigers points this afternoon. As it's Nathan Tanner to kick off, down towards the 22 it goes down towards Jeffrey Barlow, goes past him, picked up by Barry Gerard. He brings it up towards the 22, it's chased by Goff, pushes off Goff, but he can't push off Mickey Martin, who puts him to ground 3 minutes short of his own 22-metre line. Now it goes on to Wayne Leather. He come up, he's got a good tackle by Nathan Tanner. He'll play the ball back now, plays it back to Hess. Back it comes to David Adams. Elect to kick downfield and straight down towards Aaron Dunrobin. Goes past Dunrobin, still rolling, still heading towards the try line, down to inside his 22, and it's Miles and David Wilson that are coming up to effect a tackle on Dunrobin. He comes down the sideline and Wilson gets hold of him and puts him to ground. Western Suburbs very slow to get back into position at the moment. They've got a lead of 25 to 15 and 16 minutes remaining as Danny Nagus takes it up, and he's caught by Dave Wilson and Peter Miles. He'll play the ball back now to Aaron Dunrobin, who played in the reserve grade grand final previously this afternoon, which Western Suburbs won. He's caught by Wilson and Miles. He'll play the ball back now to Gerard. On it goes to O'Shea. O'Shea looks for Dancy, gives it to Dancy now. Dancy just about juggles it. He's eventually caught there by Leather and Jeffrey Barlow and Tony Hess. He plays the ball back now to Nathan Tanner. Tanner takes his time, lines himself up, and it's a big long kick too, and it's straight down to Duncan Campbell. He takes it well, and up over the 22-metre line he comes. He pushes off Swan. He can't push off Tanner and Ryan as he's taken just sort of the halfway mark, but it is a good run for the big fullback. He plays it back now to Gerard. Gerard just simply taken up. He can't push off Martin and Dave Dancy. Just short of the halfway mark. 15 minutes to go. Wanderers 2 converted tries away from this lead. He'll play it back now to Leather. Up comes Leather as he's caught in a good tackle there by Barry Ryan. Back it comes the blind side to David Adams. On it comes to David Wilson. He gets a long pass to Nolan, which goes over the sideline. Western Suburbs, I would say at this stage, with a handy lead of 25 points to 15.
Come on, Tigers!
This is fed by Adams. In it goes by Adams. It comes out by Adams. And he's caught there by O'Shea. He'll play it back now. Back it comes to David Wilson. Wilson, up he goes to meet the Tigers' defence. He plays it back now, and it goes to Barlow. Barlow comes up, he's got a good tackle there by Mickey Martin. He'll play it back now to Tony Hess. Hess gives it to Adams. Adams feeds it on the back line to Mark Hanson. He's got a good tackle there by Peter Graham and puts the ground. Plays the ball back now to Mark Hanson. He tries to go straight up the middle himself, Mark Hanson. He's gotten an excellent tackle there by Barry Ryan, the second row, and put the ground. Now it comes on to David Adams. Hold the back line down to Russell Heritage centre out wide. A quick pass to Duncan Campbell. And this was better football for the Tigers as Campbell scored back by Matty Nagus.
Go, Tigers, go!
Sorry about the noise. Just scrambled back down just short of the Panthers 22 and in by O'Shea, comes out Western Suburbs way. Straight upfield goes O'Shea. No cover defence coming out of that scrum as it goes on to Neil Goff. He's caught by Johnny Adams and put to ground. Also Mark Hanson in there assisting in that tackle. Plays the ball back now to Danny Tanner, the try scorer, and Danny Tanner coming on hard. Geez, he runs hard for a big fella. For a big centre that he is, as he plays it back now to Gerard. Down the blind side to O'Shea. O'Shea very nonchalantly just puts it to ground, and that'll be a knock on. 13 minutes to go, and Western Suburbs, I would say at this stage, with an unbeatable lead of 25 points to 15. It's going to be fed by O'Shea. There it goes by O'Shea. The referee not happy, the same tunnel. It's a very cold and windy day here this afternoon, which has hampered the line kicking a little bit, but certainly hasn't hampered the goal kicking in this match. As in it goes, it comes out O'Shea's way. The referee not happy with the foot across in the scrum, and has awarded Western Suburbs a penalty.
Come on, West, put it on the ground!
Well, the kickers in both sides, David Adams and Peter Graham, have done extremely well under these conditions this afternoon, landing 11 kicks between them. And of course, David Adams hasn't missed 1 in 6. Anyway, it'll be Peter Graham to attempt to find touch, and he hasn't gained much ground, but he has found touch, and it'll be in Tigers territory. 12 minutes to go, and Western Suburbs with an unbeatable 25-15 lead. Hydrick to take the tap. Up he comes to the Wanderers defence. He pushes off Barlow. Barlow eventually puts him to ground. Midway between the 22 and 20 and the halfway mark as it comes back to Gerard onto O'Shea. Gerard comes around, straightens up, straight through the middle goes Gerard. Steps and goes, and he's beat Duncan Campbell. And away goes David Gerard. He's caught in a good tackle there by the winger that comes, the replacement winger as it comes on. That was a good run from Gerard. A quick hands from, who gives the ball to Nathan Tanner. It was Peter Graham that got it away then. Appeared to go a little bit forward. Now it's played back now. Aaron Dunrob. Mark Swan's over the line, and Western Suburbs are in for, no, he's held up. Well, Mark Swan appeared to have scored that try. But David Gerard's very fast for a hooker. He just stepped and split the Wanderers defence wide open. Again he beat Duncan Campbell, and it was a replacement player in Wayne Perry on the wing that eventually picked him up and saved Campbell's bacon. Anyway, it'll be David Adams to feed this scrum. In it goes. It comes out Western Suburbs way. The referee not happy. 11 minutes to go on. Western Suburbs 25 and Wanderers 15. This broadcast being brought to you by the Commercial, East End, Metropolitan Hotels, Western Suburbs Leagues Club and Sugarland Tavern in conjunction with Bob Elcon Electronics. It's a Panthers ball again as eventually goes on to Nathan Tanner. He's caught there by the Tigers defence in Barlow and company as it goes along the back line now. Under Goff standing wide. There's a man over. It's done. Robin gets the ball away and Peter Graham will go in for another try. Peter Graham goes in to score his second try, and that gives him a personal tally. That gives him a personal tally of 16 points. And that has just sealed the fate for the Tigers, with Western Suburbs with an unbeatable lead of 28 points to 15. By Jove, he's played well this afternoon, Peter Graham. He's kicked he's kicked 4 conversions, 1 penalty goal, and scored 2 tries. And this isn't a very hard kick for him the way he's kicking either. He's some 20 metres out and about 15 to 20 metres the right-hand side of the uprights rather. And it's David Adams looking a little bit dejected, but unfortunately only one team can win a grand final, and Peter Graham has pushed that one away past the uprights, and stay at 28, Wanderers 15. It'll be Adams to kick off down towards the 22. It's over the head of Barry Ryan, picked up by Matty Nagus. He gets it away to Neil Goff. Up over the 22 he comes. He's caught, he's missed by Marlowe, he's missed by Hess. Keeps going, Goff. And eventually it's David Adams underneath that brings him to ground. And Barry Danzy must be a little bit dejected this afternoon. His first injury in 4 years, and he couldn't play in this grand final because he's an ex-Queensland country lock forward and also Western Suburbs skipper. And the penalty goes to Western Suburbs, and the further it goes for the Tigers, the worse it gets, as this penalty's been awarded against Peter Miles for throwing a little short one in that tackle against Dave Danzy. And 9 minutes to go, and 8 minutes on the clock at the moment, and Western Suburbs 28, Wanderers 15. It'll be Peter Graham to attempt to find touch. He's midway between the 22 and the halfway mark as he puts his left foot to it, and he has found touch with a gain of about 3 metres. It'll be Hydrick to take the tap free. Tap it and up he goes to the Wanderers defence. As he's caught underneath goes Dave Wilson as Peter Miles, and they drive him into the turf. He'll play it back now to David Gerard, just inside Tiger territory. Go on to O'Shea. Around comes Gerard. He doubles to him. Picks up Nathan Tanner. He picks up the second rower in Barry Ryan, and he's put to ground just sort of the halfway mark. He plays it back down to Wayne Hydrick. Runs from dummy half. Straight upfield he goes as he's caught by Heritage and Heritage and Barlow it was. The ball goes along the back line now to Nathan Tanner. Tanner kicks for the line. It's not a bad looking kick either. Gerard will have to hurry, but he can't put his hand to that. And at the moment, everything's turning to magic for Western Suburbs. Just short of the 22 middle line.
Just a reminder of the gate raffle tickets still have no winners. First prize to a black ticket. It's got black written all over it. And it's A47. A47, a black ticket for first prize. And second prize is another black ticket, C49. Black ticket, C49.
Feed the scrum in it goes. It comes out Western Suburbs way. The referee says play on. And now he's awarded another penalty for kicking in the ruck. Well, there's a bit of feeling out there at the moment. All the Western Suburbs players can do is point to the scoreboard, and that they should do too with this lesson they've handed out here this afternoon. 28 points to 15, and it isn't over yet with 7 minutes to go. And of course, the pressure will be right on. The Tigers. This is Peter Graham to kick for touch. Take play just inside the 22 metre line. It'll be Matty Nagus, the winger for Western Suburbs. It'll take the tap free. He takes a tap, up he goes to meet the Tigers' defence as he's dropped the ball behind him. It's picked up by O'Shea. O'Shea's got a half a gap and half a referee as he eventually put the ground, and the referee has played the right decision to back a scrum. 6 minutes to go. And it goes by Adams. Comes out Western Suburbs way to O'Shea. On it goes to Nathan Tanner. Throws a hole pass to Danny Tanner. And there's a hole for Danny Tanner where he makes it into a hole. Gets the ball away to Peter Graham. Quick hands by Graham to Aaron Dunn-Robin of Western Suburbs. In for another try.
Suburbs to number 15, Aaron Dunn-Robin. 41, Wanderers 15.
And that takes Western Suburbs over a lead of 31 points to 15. And again, we saw the try coming through the magical hands of Peter Graham. He done an excellent job there to get that ball away, and of course it was Aaron Dunn-Robin's speed that finished off the try. And that's certainly given Western Suburbs the premiership for 1981. It'll be Peter Graham to attempt this kick. He's 18 metres out and he'll be 25 metres to the right hand side of the uprights. And 5 minutes to go, and this game's still not over the way Western Suburbs are coming onto this ball. And he's added the extras.
Conversion attempt reserved from number 4, Peter Graham. Points 33, Wanderers 15.
And that takes Western Suburbs onto a lead of 33 points to 15. He goes now to Adams to kick off over the 22, picked up by Barry Ryan. Up he comes to meet the Tigers forwards. He's missed there by Wilson. Eventually it's Miles and Jeffrey Barlow that hold his progress. He plays it back down to Martin. Up he comes to meet Heritage. Over the top goes Miles, just short of the halfway mark as he plays it back to Barry Ryan. Ryan goes himself. Straight up the middle goes Ryan, and eventually it was Barlow that put him to ground. He'll play it back now to Bill O'Shea. The referee's called timeout. Barry Ryan, the injured player, down for Western Suburbs. There's 4 minutes to go, and Western Suburbs with a lead of 33 points to 15. Western Suburbs points coming from tries by O'Shea, Tanner, that's Nathan Tanner, Danny Tanner, Matty Nagus, 2 to Peter Graham, 5 conversions by Graham and a penalty goal. And of course that last try by Aaron Dunn-Robin. The The Tigers' points all coming from their captain, Coach David Evans. 1 try, 5 penalty goals and 1 conversion. Time on as it played back now to Gerard. On it goes to O'Shea. He turns it down the blind side to Mark Swan. Straight up he goes, Swan. Gets away with it. Gets a nice pass away. It's left behind by Martin and the referee will play the knock on. Back down midway between the 22 and halfway line. It'll be Adams to feed. And it goes by Adams. It comes out the Tigers' way. Gets a little pass away to Barry Gerard. He's picked up by Goff, who broke very quickly from that scrum. He'll play it back now to Duncan Campbell. On it goes to Hanson. Campbell comes round and straightens up. And he's missed by Tanner. And eventually put the ground by... It was Barry Ryan coming out of there, and he eventually goes on to Mark Hanson, picked up by Drennan, and he's picked up by Danny Tanner and thrown to the ground. He'll play it back now to Jeffrey Barlow. Back to come to Miles. Miles goes up. He pushes off Ryan, and the ball's gone free, and Ryan takes the ball off him. And the referee has indicated that he took the ball off him. He was awarded a penalty, which won't help the Tigers at this stage. But anyway, they take the tap. There's 1 player offside. There's 2 that I would have thought offside. Eventually, Barlow gets the ball away to Hess now. He gets it down to Drennan down the blind side. And Drinnan's caught over there by the Western Suburbs defence. Then Wayne Hydrick. He plays it back now to Perry. Perry goes up. He's caught by Hydrick and Gerard. He'll play the ball back now. They're 3 metres short for the Panthers 22 as it comes on the back line. Hess runs wide and picks up Wilson. He's stopped in his tracks by Mick Martin and Barry Ryan. He'll play the ball back now, Wilson. Plays it back now to Hess. When it comes to David Adams. To Mark Hanson, to John Adams. He does a run around Mark Hanson, gets the ball away to Duncan Campbell. And Campbell heads downfield, and I feel sure that the winger and Gerard should have been inside him. He'll play the ball back now to Barry Gerard. He dummies and keeps going himself, Gerard. It's a pity he couldn't step off his left foot because of a gap a mile wide, and he's gotten a good tackle there by Danzy. He'll play the ball back now, plays it back to Drennan. Along the back line it goes to... under Hess eventually. He tries to straighten to get it back inside to John Adams. He does. He picks it up well. The ball's let go and it's another forward pass against the Tigers.
The Pioneer Concrete Player of the Day award has been awarded to Western Suburbs number 4, Peter Graham.
This is the player of the day just announced, Peter Graham, and it was unanimous, I feel. He's had a magic game today, Peter Graham, scoring 2 tries. He's kicked 5 conversions and 1 penalty goal. And the Western Suburbs players down with cramps at the moment. There's 2 minutes remaining as Billy O'Shea to take this kick for touch. 1 minute. As it'll be Mark Swan to take the tap free. That's a tough, and up he goes to the Tigers defence as he's caught there by Tony Hess and Russell Heritage. He'll play it back now just short of the 22 metre line to Gerard. Straight up goes Gerard, and he's caught there by the Tigers defence in David Wilson. He'll play the ball back now to Martin. And they're just simply taking the one out of the moment, Western Suburbs, and that's all they have to do because they have this grand final for 1981. As Martin will play it back to Gerard. He gets it onto O'Shea. O'Shea to Danzy. Danzy takes it up as he's caught by Leather. Over the top goes David Wilson, but it won't do the Tigers any good at the moment. With 1 minute remaining and they're trailing by 33 to 15. O'Shea gets caught in a tackle there by Tony Hess, who come up very quickly. And he'll play it back now to Mark Swan. It's the last tackle for Western Suburbs. He gets it to Nathan Tanner. Tanner tries to get a bit of room to kick. Now he gets the kick away as it comes over this side. It's Duncan Campbell. Hasn't had a big game today, Duncan Campbell. 2 players have stepped past him to score tries, but eventually he gets the ball away to Mark Hanson. Hanson runs over and slips on the turf, and it's Wayne Hydrick that puts him down. It goes on from now to Hess, to Miles. He gets a long pass away to Wilson. Now it goes to Perry on the wing, and he does step around Nathan Tanner rather. That's a good time here. Western Suburbs for the Premiers for 1989.
Rocky Bundy, Whiskey Tango Oscar. With Bundy at 40, 3000, Gladstone 20.